Well, this is the test of the test. Before I do the actual Iron Butt Challenge. Actually, no. This is a test before I do the test, which will be 500 miles up into northern Ontario. But I can already tell there's a couple of things I need to work out. Like, I thought this was going to be far enough forward, because in my head this was going to push me forward quite a bit, but I still kind of want to sit about here to balance the bike properly and to be comfortable, so this needs to be a little further back. Otherwise, this doesn't imbalance the bike all that much, really, like at all. I'm not carrying a ton of gear. It's just like the bare minimum of the stuff I think I would need if it rains or if I have like a minor breakdown, that kind of thing. And then the tank base got, like right now I've got the dark visor, but on the trip, since I'm going to leave in the middle of the night, I'll be wearing the clear visor for a while and then switch over to, and then spare phone, hydration bag, hat, some snacks and whatnot, so waterproof bags in case I need to throw anything into anything. So theoretically I won't really be stopping unless something happens that prevents me from continuing, but I still want to be prepared for that just in case. But yeah, so this is a test, and then was just to see how everything felt when I get everything on the bike. On Saturday I'm gonna do a test up into like towards Muskoka. I won't be getting actually that close to Muskoka. I'll be kind of skirting like Tobermory and then coming back down. And then that'll be 500 miles, and then if I handle that okay, if the bike handles it okay, which I still need to think of a name for her. She hasn't jumped out at me with a name yet. Hopefully if I don't have it before this trip, I'll have it by the end of it. Then the plan is to go down a little past State College, basically skirting State College in Pennsylvania into Harrisburg. I think it's Harrisburg. And then coming back up. I'll do the first like 200 miles on highway, and then I'll switch over to backcountry, curvy roads and stuff for as long as I can, and then do the last bit again on highway. So it's not because I want to do highway, but fitting 1,000 miles into 24 hours, if I can't maintain at least 70 kilometers an hour, including stops and stuff, is basically not possible. So if I want to actually accomplish it, I do need to do some of it on straighter, faster roads that theoretically would also be a bit safer for me to go kind of fast and straight on. So I'm going to try and do those early in the morning before they get busy, and then later in the evening after they get busy, or after they quiet down a little bit. So anyway, that's the plan. I'm going to do a little bit of a boot around here and then head back home. So let me get back on the bike, we'll head out, and I'll try and keep this short. I got to get better at this again. It's been a while since I had to get on a bike loaded with gear, when this is not even that much. It's just not very flexible anymore. And then this came loose on me, which is annoying, so I have to fix that. Cinch that down a little bit when we get home. Alright. But yeah, it feels good otherwise. I think it's going to be a good trip. I really do. I'm really optimistic about it right now. Assuming that my body and my arm will cooperate, then everything should go well. It's a brand new bike, so she should do okay. And like I said, I'm going to stress test everything in that 500 mile trip ahead of time. So it's very unlikely that if something's going to show up that I need to be concerned about within that 500 miles, it probably won't show up in 1,000 as long as I'm riding her about the same way. My goal is to make sure I'm doing that 500 miles in about 12 hours, 11 or 12 hours, because then it's going to force me to maintain a pace equivalent to what I would need to do when I'm doing it on the full ride. Maybe even try and get it done in 10 hours. That would be optimal, because I don't have any of that done for highway, but a lot of southern Ontario, like if you look at the map, I'll show a little overlay of the map real quick of what I planned out. And you can see like all the beginning of it is effectively flat, straight, not necessarily flat, but pretty straight roads. So, you know, it kind of mimics highway riding to some degree. And then only when you get up here into northern Ontario do you really get some nice curvy, more organic, for lack of a better word, roads. So anyway, that's the plan. I hope everyone can wish me luck. If you've seen this, anyone else is planning a trip of their own this year, good luck, enjoy it. This is why we do it, not because it's easy, but because it makes lasting memories. There's still things I did on some of my road trips when I was younger that I've not forgotten yet, and hopefully I'll never forget them. So they're not always fun while you're doing it. That's the thing to remember, is sometimes they can be flat out miserable. But I think there was a Meat Eater episode with Joe Rogan on it, where Steve Ranella and Joe were talking about what makes for good memories. And he kind of Ranella kind of equated it to, like, you know, try and remember the last time you were on a roller coaster. I mean, sure, it's a lot of fun, but how unique is that memory necessarily? It happens quickly, it's all fun and exhilarating, and then it's done. Meanwhile, some of the fondest memories to look back on are memories where you're remembering a time when you were just miserable. Time went super slow, everything was terrible, you were being rained on. An example for that for me is in my 2019 trip, or 2018 trip, I decided for some stupid ass reason to go through New Orleans. You know, I knew I had to go through Louisiana. That was kind of part of the goal. I had no reason to have to go through New Orleans, but I thought, oh, I'm all the way down here, I should. And then once I'm done that, I'll just kind of skirt up to Mobile and go from there. Well, not only was the traffic terrible, just an absolute nightmare for the time that I got into New Orleans. I was in bumper-to-bumper traffic for an outrageous amount of time. But then, of course, that was also the day where it just opened up. And it poured the whole day. I ended up riding through areas where the water was probably up to my knees if I got off the motorcycle, because I was trying to get away from the traffic, and pulled into a gas station at one point and just absolutely drenched. Took my shoes off and put my flip-flops on, trying to just let things air out a little bit because I was pruned up. But I gotta tell you, those were the best boiled peanuts I have ever had in my life. And I like boiled peanuts. I grew up in the South, so of course I like boiled peanuts. Oh, those were the best. Just standing there in the gas station. They were super sweet to me. They said, no, you can stay here as long as you need, because they could see what it was like outside. They could see that I was on a motorcycle just absolutely full with gear. And I explained what I'd been doing and how long I'd been on the road. And man, it was pure misery, and yet a memory I'll never forget, and simultaneously one of my fondest memories in my entire life. So there you go. I'm still hoping for this trip that I don't see rain. Less because I know it will make for something memorable, but more because if I'm actually going to accomplish what I set out to do, I don't need that as an obstacle that's slowing me down. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully I keep this video short and sweet. And if I don't see you on the road, I hope to see you on the next video. And until then, ride safe and ride fun. Catch you guys next time.